I know. Oh, God, it's so hard. This is almost like last year, before we had the same amount of content to offer, which is we like to be close to the best in a lot of cases. And we have learned in the case of writing that revealing story tends to have a great hypnotic effect if you do it in the right order. I'm working on an episode of vampires. I'm trying to look into that and see what kind of, like, they're floating around. I've got nautical vampires, which I find interesting, especially for our show. We don't do a lot of stuff on the water. We'll do still very little, but I think one of my favorite things is if we can get it, and I'm not promising it because production is always difficult, but I currently have a scene where Dean takes a walk on the beach.
No.
It's like he doesn't enjoy it because he doesn't have that kind of life. But like the idea of Dean actually even having a moment on the beach is sort of, in a way, quietly revolutionary in my opinion.
Yeah.
But it's we have well enough grist for another roller coaster ride. Trust Jeremy. I'm not going to put my name on that. No.
So we're getting vampires. What other sort of monsters and creepy crawlies are we going to be getting this season?
Let's see. I mean, a good hearty mix. But
any new ones?
New critters. Sort of. I think there's. There's always going to be something kind of new here and there. There's what is it? There's a sports-related creature, which is an interesting. There's a monstrous problem that has a connection with sports. That's an interesting one for us to play.
What particular sport?
Sports in general, athleticism.
Okay.
That has just an interesting angle.
Speed and agility.
And just the act of, what is it? What are sports? What is that sort of that war game or what? Football is a decoded war.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's a war theater. So they're interesting to look at.
Have you ever watched some of the monster hunting shows and like jotted down some notes about like the reality shows and said, "Oh, we gotta make use of that one"?
I only ever watch River Monsters. Ever. That's all I watch. Just repeats of River Monsters. No, isn't that a show?
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
How can it be a show? How many river monsters are there?
A scary amount.
Yeah, a ridiculous amount.
What's up with rivers? What's going down with the rivers? I do. I watch those kind of. I love that sort of. I'm actually for a scripted television deal. I'm quite intrigued by unscripted stuff. It's just a peculiar thing. I love that stuff because they always have to deal with not finding the monster. It's like the third act of like, well, let me tell you the history of this place. Like it always goes from monster to learn more about Scotland because the Loch Ness Monster didn't show up in our episode.
Yeah.
Here's a Catholic priest who saw him in 1938.
Yeah. Well, you get a lot of like the folklore and the history connected to it. Yeah.
Nice, yeah. I'm not dissing them. Don't get me in a fight with those people. They've got fans and night vision.
Is there any storyline you've ever been involved with? Is there any storyline you've ever been involved with where you look back and wish you'd done something different?
Yes, always.
And so what's a notable example?
What's a good one? That's a hard one because I've written 21 episodes of this thing.
What's one of your favorites then?
Favorite episode?
Yeah, like if it's...
I like the ones that are shockingly odd, like Ghostfacers because it pretended to be another show, and Monster Movie because it was black and white, and French Mistake because
Where comes that up, Joe?
they were named, themselves, the Jared and Jensen show. It's peculiar, I think that this is a show where Eric Kripke was courageous, and that courage has been sort of kept on. We wanted to play with the medium of what TV offered, and that's one of, I think, our strong points, is that we're pretty courageous in that direction. Alright, that's a bunch of boasting. I came here to boast. And I want to take all of you. I'll see you later. $1,500.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.